stuff too while like I'm doing the intro and whatnot. Welcome in, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Going the Distance podcast. My name is Ryan Bonnell, and alongside me is my co-host Elijah Span, along with a couple special guests. We got Zach Rieger from the Betting on the Rocks podcast, along with Noah Parker from the Blanket Coverage podcast. Before we get into it, make sure you go over on our website, gtdsports.com, where you can find all of our podcasts on our network, including both of these guys' shows. So be sure to go and check out their content after this. But we have a great episode planned. If you can tell by our apparel we're wearing, we got Zach in the Titans gear. Zach and Noah, a couple Titans fan. I myself am a Bengals fan. Huge matchup coming up on Saturday. We're going to be talking about that, breaking it down and having some fun with it, as well as the other divisional round games. And then at the end of things, we're going to talk about some UFC 270, huge fight this weekend. And also, as always, we're going to end things with our betting picks, our best bets for this weekend. So before we get into the nitty-gritty of it, let's talk about some Would You Rathers, like we always start our Thursday episodes. I'll go ahead and hand it off to Elijah. What do you got for us?
So I'm moving this week, and it's, as we all know, a process, and it's like probably top 5 worst things to do as a first world person.
Good way to put it, yeah.
Yeah. It's like top 5 first world problem in
moving beers
existence.
though. Those kind of hit.
Moving beers, yeah, those are there. Those are there.
That's
for
a
sure.
great way to not get anything done when you move.
That's also true.
I'm just trying to make it a positive, man.
But so in light of that, my question is: would you rather move every month? So as soon as you get settled in, you're pretty much gonna have to move like in 2 days, or switch fanship every single month. Every month, you're a different fan of a new team.
So I'd have to entirely move houses every month or move
all your shit.
That's a really shitty position either way.
Well, I'm talking boxes.
Well, it's kind of gambling. I kind of switch teams a lot. You know, it sucks being the main one, but
yeah, then you could never have, like something to fall back on, no passion.
Like after
we're all gamblers, but if somebody asks you who you're a fan of, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm a Titans fan."
Yeah.
So
like in February, I'm a fan of a new team that's they just won the Super Bowl, but it doesn't really mean much.
No, but are we switching fanships in a certain sport? Because like I kind of do that with the NBA in the first place. Like I'm a Grizzlies fan.
It's whatever's in season.
Whatever's in season. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the question's gonna be sick. That's all I'm gonna say.
So theoretically, since baseball season and football season overlap, I could just switch baseball teams every month. I don't care about baseball anyway.
No, you have to switch whatever's in season. You have to switch everything.
I think
so. You have to switch everything. You can't just switch one sport.
Okay, right. For the sake of just like my life and, living a productive, fun time, I don't know, I would probably switch sports teams just because moving every month would literally take like 48 hours out of your life every month, to set everything up to at least that. Probably.
It would take a week for you to like get comfortable in your new house.
Yeah.
And then you have 3 weeks there and then you got to move again. I moved a lot in college because I like switched dorms my sophomore year. And then I moved between my junior and senior year as well. Didn't live in the same house for 2 years. And I would so much rather switch fandoms. I don't care.
That's like the worst part about living on campus and stuff too, is like having to move around and everything. It's bogus.
Yeah, and everything's just so tight.
I moved every year of college and it fucking sucked.
There was one year I didn't, and like between junior and senior year, and it was the best.
That's what I'm at right now.
Summer, and then went back and like all my shit was there. Just at like the off-campus house, it was fantastic.
Oh yeah, that's how. Well, after my junior year, like I didn't want to move, but our house was such a piece of shit. We had to.
Kind of had to. Yeah.
We stuck it out one more year. We probably should have moved.
Man. Well, our ceiling collapsed on us.
Oh shit! Yeah, y'all had to get out there.
And we were like, when that happened, we were like, "Fuck this house. We're moving next year."
Alrighty. My question for y'all is: would you rather this one is inspired by last week's Buffalo Bills game, just in that freezing weather, where our one of our writers and podcast hosts, Jack, was at that game. He posted some pictures of him in the freezing. So would you guys rather watch a football game in the freezing cold temperatures or in the pouring rain? Like, not just some sprinkles. I mean, like, in your face pouring, like, can't even pull out your phone type shit, just true rain.
Give me freezing cold all
Really?
day.
Cold.
Yeah, dude, because the pouring rain, it doesn't stop, and it's just something's like constantly hitting you. And the cold, I was at the Chiefs-Titans AFC Championship game in Kansas City where it was like 6 degrees out.
Oh, that's sick.
Like 2 years. Yeah, honestly, the best experience of my life. Not really because they lost, but up there. Like, the atmosphere was crazy. And so just being at that game, like, you can always kind of layer up. I spent $6 on a small cup of like hot chocolate and somehow thought it was the best purchase ever. Like, there's ways around it. And like, I survived that game. It is cold, but you got your coats. You can layer up. When things
Also,
get wet, it just gets uncomfortable. And
I went to the worst Tennessee Titans game I've been to in 22 years. Earlier this year, we lost in the pouring rain to the Texans.
I almost went to that game.
It was a good game, and I still didn't stay around to the end because A, we were losing to the Texans, and B, it was pouring rain, and I was like, screw this. Like, let's go home.
I fucking hate getting wet
Bro,
with
but-
rain. If
Bro,
it's okay, so what's
we're
the weather
Texas
like
boys, Elijah. You're going with the cold?
Okay, but is it like warm? Is it like 70 and raining, or is it? Because I've had a double whammy for this.
No,
I
yeah,
went
you're
to-
right. I've had cold and raining too. So
I went to the
warm
TCU
and
Baylor
raining.
game. The TCU
Yeah.
Baylor game that was in like 2014, 2015. I don't know. It was like 35, 45 degrees, and it was torrential downpour, and I stayed for all 4 quarters plus overtime. Thought I was
And
going
rush
to
the
die.
field.
And rush the field. So I would rather just do cold because like I could just get drunk.
I mean, I guess, but I don't know. I feel kind of surprised that I'm the one like outlier here. I would rather just deal with the rain for a little bit.
If it's
Just,
if it's 80 degrees,
The liquor
like,
blanket is strong.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Liquor
true.
blanket is
Beers are a
extremely
no-go, but the
strong.
liquor, yep. Absolutely.
Maybe my opinion would change if I actually went though, because now that I'm 21, I can buy stadium beers and whatnot. So
Right. I mean, if it's
They're only
85
$10 a
degrees,
pop. It's a great deal.
exactly.
if it's 85 degrees, I could just go tarps off and just try to sling it. But like, other than that, no, I'm going cold.
Yeah, Miami rains aren't. Yeah, that's not as bad because that's just kind of. It feels good. It's warm out, but yeah, anything else? Nope. Give me the cold.
All right,
Which I
Zach, what do you
don't
got
play
for
often.
us?
Well, first off, I hate to be that guy that's reading too much off like the prep sheet, but I think you missed a section in the intro.
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm pretty sure you did.
Which section?
Yeah, the intro.
Oh my
very
God.
last
Okay,
one.
I didn't even notice. Okay, Zach wrote in our show notes. He said last but definitely not least. Wow, Zach, you look nice today. I didn't even see that,
you.
dude. I'm like, at first I was like, what are you talking about? But I'm just so used to I honestly like don't even read off of that anymore. I kind of just like I'm just used to it. It's routine. But okay, yeah. So before we continue, everybody needs to know Zach looks very nice today.
Oh, thank you. I needed to hear that. You didn't have to say that.
Putting his finest King Henry.
Yeah, no, I snuck that in there. You had the last but not least. I'm like, last but definitely not least. No. So for mine, it's I think we've all done this in Madden or something, but just something, try to bring it to real life. If you had to play one NFL season, would you rather be unbelievably fast with zero skill or have all the skill in the world and no speed? You have to play one full year. You're not going to get hurt. You're not going to do anything. You're playing one full year. Do you want to be fast with no skill or, have skill, but you might get 5 yards?
In
All right,
Madden,
all right.
So you're a skill position. You have to be a skill position.
Real life.
Real life,
We're
okay.
bringing it to real life. Yeah, let's say you're a
Okay.
receiver.
Okay, see, because I was gonna say in that argument, you could either be like one of the greatest return man ever, or an offensive lineman, Pro Bowler.
Yeah, here's my argument. And I think there's some precedent for this. when I was in high school, maybe it was like 8th grade. There was a coach on our team who had played in the NFL, and he was like a bottom of the roster, like practice squad player or whatever. It came down to cut day, and another guy's 40. They were about equal skill, so maybe this doesn't apply totally, but they had a very, very slight difference in their 40, but the other guy was faster. Team took the other guy, even though whoever the coach was a better player. So I'm going with speed because, like, example, John Ross, 0 skill, a lot of speed. He's still in the league. There's a lot of guys with 0 skill. With 0 speed and a lot of skill that are not in the league because they're just not athletic enough. And that's kind of a baseline to just be able to play in the NFL. And if you're really fast, there's going to be a coach or a GM out there that believes that they can coach you up to be a good player, even if you have 0 skill, but you're like one of the fastest guys in the league.
I was going to originally say I would go with 100 speed, 0 skill, but now that you make those arguments, I can't really disagree with you because I was going to say, like, look at a guy like Jason Witten, he was slow as molasses, but he still made plays left and right.
Well, towards the end of his career.
He was still never like the fastest, but
He's a tight end. What do you want?
I know, but still.
Like,
So yeah, okay. I guess with those arguments, I can't really deny. I'll agree though. I'll go with speed over skill.
yeah, no, that's like having like the big arm quarterback, like why Drew Lock got drafted. It's like he's not good, but he's got a fucking cannon. So I'm gonna take a chance on this guy. Same thing with wide receivers like Mecole Hardman or I don't know, name any other bubble Chiefs receiver that's out there. It's like, he's fast. So
DeMarcus Robinson, Byron Pringle.
Their whole team, essentially, yeah.
Yeah.
Basically. Even Tyreek Hill is not even like the greatest route runner. He's just fast as fuck.
Yeah.
But I'll go all the skill, 0 speed because let's bring back the possession receiver. Bring back the Roddy Whites of the world.
The Roddy Whites.
Bring back Kelvin Benjamin.
There you go.
I respect
Kelvin Benjamin isn't even that far out.
He's a Popeye's biscuit away from being a tight end.
Yeah.
The only good thing Booger's ever said.
Dude, oh my god. I love and hate Booger so much, bro. Because literally, all right, ready? This is my best Booger impression.
Speaking of things we need to bring back, the Booger Mobile.
Wait, I don't remember that. Is that with him sitting on the mobile
on the
thing?
sideline?
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Can you imagine paying thousands of dollars to get like front row like tickets? You're there on the sideline and you just have to watch a little TV on the back of Booger. Like,
hey, at least they added the TV.
Yeah, but still.
Imagine being ESPN and you call up the stadium and you're like, yeah, we're going to need you to accommodate this mobile moving device for one of our commentators on the sideline. And by the way, it's going to block all your highest paying customers' views.
Yeah. But
Dude, it was iconic though.
Yeah, but we'll put like a 20-inch TV on it. Don't worry.
Yeah. We've got a monitor from one of our interns in the trailer. You'll be all right.
I know. What do you got for us?
So mine's not sports related, but would you rather be stung by 1,000 wasps or bit by 100,000 mosquitoes?
Jesus Christ, we're getting morbid. Goddamn.
It's supposed to be a tough decision.
It is a tough decision. I mean,
give me the mosquitoes. I don't want to think about it. I don't want to talk about it. Just give me the mosquitoes. I know it's a lot more, but their bites are a little bit it's a little bit less.
Either way, I think your entire body is going to be covered.
Exactly. So just give me the
I was
mosquitoes.
gonna say you would probably die either way. Like
both.
Let's pretend you don't.
I'm allergic to wasps, so I'm also gonna go mosquitoes.
I'm gonna go mosquitoes because I've never been stung by a wasp, bee, or anything in my life, and I
haven't
start
either.
Today. I'm knocking on my wood.
Last time I got stung by a wasp.
It's basically pain versus just like the most uncomfortable experience of your life.
Yeah, just constant itching and weird feelings. Ugh, I don't even want to think about that.
Yeah, but like if you're stung by that many bees, like you're going to definitely be swelling or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Wasps would be like lumpy as
or like
shit.
yeah. So
yeah.
like it's either way, there's gonna be discomfort. So just give me the
I'm going.
mosquitoes.
I would
move
go with
on.
mosquitoes.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and get into the actual sports of the episode now. We got the divisional round games coming up. Of course, we're here for the Bengals and Titans matchup, but we're going to save the best for last, and we're going to start with the other Saturday game on the slate, and that's the 49ers and the Packers, with the Pack being favored by 5.5 points. So, can the only underdog winner from Wild Card Weekend stay alive against Aaron Rodgers and company in Lambeau Field? What do you guys think?
No, not a chance.
Beautifully said.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah, I mean the 49ers almost lost to the Cowboys, and we saw what happened to the Cardinals, who recently beat the Cowboys, what they did against the Rams. So I'm probably expecting a little bit of that. 49ers have been good this year, but they haven't been that good. You know what I mean? And they still have Jimmy Garoppolo as a quarterback. Rasul Douglas interception, book it. Yeah, it's in Lambeau too, and it's going to be freezing cold. Aaron Rodgers is going to be in his element.
At 10 degrees.
It's not the NFC Championship, so they're not cursed just yet. They're going to advance to the next round. Packers all the way.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think like the 49ers, I think they're a bit better than a lot of people, including myself, have given them credit for throughout the regular season. But I mean, playoff time in Lambeau is just different. Like, it's 10 degrees, 11-mile-per-hour winds. The Packers are going to be in their element where, you know, we got the Cali boys coming in from San Francisco where it's probably 70 degrees and sunny right now. And, I mean, I know the weather isn't the end-all, be-all, but, like, I just find it hard to pick against the Packers in this one, who I believe should be the Super Bowl favorite as it stands.
I mean, I'm going to bet the Niners. I've already made that decision. I don't want to talk about it, but I think it's going to be close. I was on another show, and me and my buddy co-hosted, and we were talking, and we went like he picked 4 teams, and I picked the 4 other teams for against the spread. And so the Niners was kind of that touchy one because it's especially tough now with all the injuries going on. Jimmy G is going to be hurt in the cold. That definitely does not help. But I made that commitment. I'm like, I got to bet. We got to go like completely against each other on that. And the Niners have been good to me. It could be a good little hedge for me for them to keep it close. Because I did get Packers as soon as Devonta Adams and Aaron Rodgers put on their Instagram story, The Last Dance. I put it plus 2,500 to win the Super Bowl. Packers booked it, put $10 on it to win 250.
Beautiful.
So, you know, fantastic, sharp mind by me, just seeing an Instagram post and being like, "Yep, this is it." So it's gonna be tough. I love watching the Niners play. I love Debo. For a warm weather team, you know, they're a lot more physical, but there is nothing like it. I just think of the Titans-Packers game in Lambeau last year, where they're literally in the snow. And Aaron Rodgers is still he put up like 300 yards that game, just dotting everyone up.
Granted, the Titans didn't really have any sort of defense, but I see where your head's at here.
Yeah, no, I mean obviously, yeah, we can talk about that, but
yeah,
there's plenty of other evidence of quarterbacks in the snow where they just, you know, there's always a little something. They can still have good games, but there's always a little something you can tell, like, okay, they're not fully comfortable. Aaron Rodgers is just throwing it like it's 80 degrees and sunny. Like, just no thought, no hesitation, nothing.
Just being Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, just does it in inches of snow. So it's tough to bet against them. I don't love it, but, you know, it's a bigger number. So I'm going to go with the Niners, you know, playing a little devil's advocate, but don't feel good about it.
I'm going with the Packers very easily. I don't think the Niners really have a chance in this game. Niners defense has been playing pretty well, but I just think Rodgers is basically matchup proof, to use a fantasy term.
Mm-hmm.
A.J. Dillon touchdown, mortal lock of the century. It's going to happen. Book it right now. All that being said, the Packers have too much talent on offense to lose this game. Bakhtiari's coming back. Jair Alexander's getting back into the secondary. Zadarius Smith getting back on the field. That's going to be huge. And against an injured Jimmy G, like y'all said, in Lambeau, 10 degrees. This one could get ugly. I don't think it will get that bad, but it could get ugly.
Yeah, it is worth noting that it does seem like everyone will play. So Fred Warner looks like he's going to play. Nick Bosa, he practiced in full today. So they will play. Obviously, we don't know how much of a difference that'll make, but it definitely helps the Niners side a little bit. And so I'm going to say it because I need everything I can get.
Dude, it frustrates me that I didn't place a Packers super or future bet because, like, whenever I saw those Instagram posts, I thought the exact same thing. I was like, they're gonna do it. Like, they're gonna fucking do it this year. But damn, I regret it. Hindsight's 2020.
But so I did pick. I did pick like right as playoff started. I got Titans at plus 900 to win it all. So like, if it is Titans, Packers, I will be profitable no matter what.
Yeah, that's amazing. That'd be a perfect scenario.
I had to do something with Titans. I'm like,
that was my Super Bowl pick, beginning of the year, Titans, Packers.
Mine was Packers, Bills.
So same here.
Mine was Bills, Rams, which I don't really believe in anymore. I believe in the Bills, actually.
We're all pretty close, though.
Yeah, honestly, not too bad. All right, so let's go like legit predictions, not the spread or anything. Who do you guys have winning, and what's your final score?
I'll start since I have the Niners covering. I saw Packers 24-21. Could see it getting a little higher scoring, but I do think it's going to be like a field goal type game, maybe 4. But I think it will be close. So it definitely has that. The Niners like to play a lot of close games, just with their style of play. But it's going to be tough to stick with. Just play against Rodgers and the Packers for all 4 quarters.
I respect
the Niners could control the tempo in this game, and that's what worries me a little bit about betting the Packers. But I think it's a Packers steady win. I think they dominate the entire game. I got 24-10.
Yeah, so I agree with Noah's sentiment that it has potential to get out of hand, but I don't necessarily think it will quite get that far. But I'm also going to go with a 2-possession win. I got Packers 31-20. Now that I think about it, it might not get that high scoring in the snow, or not the snow, but in that cold weather. But 11-point win ish. That's where I got them.
I have them 35-17 Packers.
Damn, big win.
Yeah. I haven't seen that. We have seen 0 good playoff games so far, so I'm not expecting some on Saturday.
I mean, yeah,
I don't know,
I think that's
big
why we're
Titans
going to
game.
see some good ones. Like, I think it's because, like, okay, we separated the good teams. Okay, now all the good teams are playing each other now.
I mean, this is the biggest spread on the board. Is 5.5 points. That's the biggest spread.
Yeah, and I think that they're going to cover. I do think Bengals Titans is going to be a tight game. Chiefs Bills is going to be good. And what was that? Oh, Rams Bucks. I'm very excited for that one.
Yeah, like most of the games, I think this is the only game that's not going to be like neck and neck the entire time. But I could be wrong. I mean, who knows? I would have thought that the games would have been a little bit closer last week too. But
here's an interesting question about just the margin of victory last week. Do you think that had correlation with the fact that we added a 7th seed? Or do you think in future years that we're going to get a little bit better games and it was just the specific matchups and how the seeding played out?
No, I think for the most part, the 7th seed are going to suck. If the Chargers made the playoffs instead of the Steelers, then it'd be a little bit of a different story this year. But I mean, if you look back to last year when we implemented the 7th seed, like that Saints Bears game was probably the worst playoff game I've ever seen in my life. It was so boring.
Yeah.
I don't even remember who was on the AFC side of that off the top of my head, but the Eagles were bad against the Bucks. Like, we all knew that the Eagles were frauds. And who are the other contenders for that 7th seed? What, the Saints again, who was going to be a banged up Taysom Hill or possibly even an Ian Book. Get out of here.
Yeah.
And then, the Steelers, of course, like we knew who they were. Big Ben is just a shell of himself.
But I think the NFC had a lot bigger difference between the top teams and the bottom teams than the AFC overall. I think it just worked out in a really wacky way where the Colts didn't make the playoffs. The Colts could have been competitive, as much as I don't want to admit that, and I love shitting on the Colts for not making the playoffs. The Colts would have been competitive in the playoffs. The Chargers would have been competitive in the playoffs. It was the fact that the Steelers and Lamar Jackson getting hurt is a significant part of this too, because then the Ravens are in this mess as well.
Yeah, they collapsed hard.
As much as their secondary and their running back farm were just absolutely depleted, and I don't know that they would have necessarily been competitive, but Lamar Jackson gives you a chance. I think it's really comes down to the fact that we got Big Ben this year instead of Justin Herbert or Lamar Jackson or Jonathan Taylor, because Carson Wentz blows too. But
yeah, it's almost like
point here.
I was just gonna say it's almost like week 18 is like the reason why it sucked this year. I think they'll be okay because there is all that glimmer of hope with Jonathan Taylor, Justin Herbert. Like they all would have made at least competitive games. So I don't see a problem with the 7 seed and having 7 teams each side. I'm trying to find who the 7 seed was in 2020 because I can't remember either. And I see the brackets, but I can't tell who's the 7 seed. But yeah, I think it'll be okay. Week 18 was just a crazy week this year, and I don't know if it's always going to be that way, but I think we're eventually going to get to more weeks just because having kind of an odd number of games is kind of weird, and I don't think that's going to stay forever. So it was more that
it's taken
7 teams.
It's taken the Jeff Fisher out of the equation.
I know
it's taken the 8-8 out of the equation, which I hate.
Yeah, 8-9 versus 9-8 is such a bigger difference. You have to be able to be 500. It's insane. I thought that right away.
No, I mean, I kind of think though, like you were talking about, Zach, with the chaos of week 18, I think there's always going to be at least some sort of chaos in that last week. Mm-hmm. Just, especially in games like the Raiders and the Chargers game. But overall, I would like to think that this year just happened to be 2 shitty teams that got in as the 7 seed. And that, going forward, we're going to have more competitive games. And, it would be fun to see a 7 seed beat a 2 seed. Not this year, though. I would have hated seeing either the Steelers or the Eagles win a playoff game. But I think it'll get more competitive.
I was going to say, were the Colts a 7 seed in 28 or 2020?
I honestly, I don't remember.
They almost won. I think they might have been.
I don't remember.
Because I'm just looking at these brackets and none of them say the seeding, but it's right across from the Bears Saints. And I do think the Colts might have been the 7
Bills
seed.
were the 2 seed last year.
Bills were the 2 seed.
Yeah, so the Colts almost upset the Bills last year.
Okay. I think we just need to see a bigger sample size.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, it is hard to make a solid conclusion at this point.
I'm not that there's been a ton of overreaction this year just because the games were pretty ugly and out of hand. But yeah, I mean,
they're gross.
We had 2 NFC East teams in the NFC, which is just insane.
Shut the fuck up.
Speaking of the Bills, though, let's go ahead and hop in the Bills and Chiefs game over in the AFC. Bills are 2-point underdogs in the eyes of the Vegas odd makers. The Chiefs, both teams, I mean, looked absolutely phenomenal in their last game. Chiefs with that huge win over the Steelers, which was, I mean, kind of expected. And then the Bills with the not so expected domination of the Patriots. Both these teams caught fire at the right time in the season. I mean, especially the Chiefs. They have been rolling for quite some time now. So it seems like the Bills are the popular upset pick of the weekend, just as the Niners were last week. But this isn't Arrowhead. This is Patrick Mahomes. This is the Chiefs that, has been in the Super Bowl, been there, done that. Is Arrowhead as a home field advantage the end-all, be-all that people make it out to be, or do the Bills have a solid chance in this game?
It's big. It's definitely, I wouldn't say it's overhyped by any means. I've been to a few games there. It is pretty intense, but I wouldn't say there's no way they can go in and win. It scares me a little bit that they're the public dog, but it did work last week with the Niners, and I'm so happy I took Bills -4.5. That was the last bet I placed because I was so back and forth on that game. And now I'm oh yeah, the easiest bet ever. They smoked them. But I was when I was actually going through it, it was who knows? But I'm gonna. This is a tough one for me as well. I'm on the Bills. just because. And going back to the Instagram stories, I just keep seeing the Stephon Diggs picture everywhere of him just staying there after last year's AFC Championship, just as they're celebrating Arrowhead. And there's not as much of a revenge factor since they got like a little bit of revenge this year, beating them in the regular season. But, I just keep seeing that, and the fact
I think the revenge factor is still there.
That it's still there, and they're just so hot. Like this is going to be a great game. Like it's hard to truly pick a side and feel great about it, in my opinion. So I think the final factors for me were just that picture that I see all the time, and the fact that I like the Bills a little bit more than the Chiefs. So, that's where I'm at.
I think that, like you said, it is what it's hyped up to be, Arrowhead. Like, it truly is arguably the toughest place to play in the NFL. But I think both teams are hot. The Bills just look a little bit hotter after that game against the Patriots, the way they're playing. It's going to be different going on the road, of course, but for some reason, I just have this weird feeling that Patrick Mahomes is going to make some sort of massive mistake that goes like viral on the internet. Like, oh my God, I can't believe he just threw that. I just have a feeling. I don't know what it is, but I have a feeling it's going to come down to the last drive where the Chiefs have a chance to win it, and then Mahomes is going to throw a pick. Call me crazy, but that's what I see happening. And speaking of that, or actually, no, I'll go ahead and let Elijah and Noah get in on that one first before I move on.
Man, I've called it from the beginning of the year that the Bills the Chiefs are not going to make the playoffs. Are not going to make the Super Bowl. I'm going to stick with that. The Bills are my Super Bowl representative from the AFC since week 1. Bills have been more up and down than the Chiefs. Chiefs were more of just down and then up. So it's a little hard to peg. But I think Josh Allen's on a mission, and I think the Chiefs are vulnerable. I think the Chiefs defense was pretty good there for a stretch, but I think that they're still the Chiefs defense, and Joe Burrow showed us that in Week 17. And I think Josh Allen can go in there and clean things up and do the job. I don't know. I believe in them. They're crazy. I know they don't have a run game, but that's a bad man.
Hey, Singletary's been playing really well.
He's been better. Yeah. He's been a lot better.
Noah, what do you think?
All right. I got to go with the Bills because I really don't want to see Patrick Mahomes next week. I wouldn't want to see Patrick Mahomes either if I were you, Ryan. Here's the thing. This is going to be an incredibly close game. I think this game goes right down to the wire, down to the last drive, a case of whose defense is going to make a play. And over the course of the season, the Buffalo Bills have had a really, really great defensive season. Now, they were much better over the first half of the season than they were the second half of the season, but I think they're starting to pick that up a little bit, especially with the level of physicality that originally in the first matchup, New England had them beat on. New England played a far more physical game in that first matchup, and then the Bills used their speed in a little bit warmer environment in the second matchup, and this time they once again out-physicaled them. Josh Allen just has an absolute cannon of an arm. I saw last week Ben Roethlisberger miss multiple open receivers and throw picks and get passes broken up. Simply not because his receivers weren't open, not because he wasn't making the right read, but because he couldn't fit the ball in there. I think there are going to be the opportunities for Josh Allen to make those plays. And my prediction is that the Bills have the ball last, and the Bills are going to be the ones to win this game.
So speaking of Josh Allen and Mahomes, do you think this game really comes down to a battle of who has a better game between the two? Or is there more to it? Just truly just kind of
no. I think it comes down to the defense. And with Clyde Edwards-Helaire banged up, are the Chiefs going to be able to run the ball at all? Because it's going to be about whoever can establish the run to open up the passing game, right?
Yep.
Well, I think it's going to come down to probably the simplest numbers you can get to, and that's turnover margin. Whoever wins the turnover battle in this game wins the game.
Yeah,
defense is making plays.
Yeah, they're both so good at quarterback. It's going to be all the other things. I think it comes down to the wire. I agree completely with what Noah was saying. It's going to be which defense steps up. Turnover margin definitely has a big thing, but I think that ties into the defense because I don't think they're both going to make either of them are going to make that many mistakes. I think if it's going to be a turnover, if it's going to be a pick, it's going to be like, okay, Poyer just made a hell of a play, or Hyde just made a hell of a play, or Sorensen. No, just kidding. Sorensen's not going to make a hell of a play. But no, like it's going to come down to the defense and everyone besides them. Because even if they don't play that great of a game, like it's still going to be a good game for an NFL quarterback standards just because of their talent. So I think it comes down to the defense.
All right. So I think this is, at least in my eye, the unofficial AFC championship. I know, how seeding worked out. I know, as we're both on the other side. No, but I think this is the unofficial AFC championship game.
They're going to build each other up so much that Titans are just going to run over them next week. That's what's going to happen.
That would be, I guess see that they would kind of bang each other up, but I mean, realistically,
both of these teams at home already.
We also beat the Chiefs.
Weeks.
Okay, that's true, but I think no matter who, if the Titans were to win this weekend, no matter who wins, Bills or Chiefs, I guarantee the Bills or Chiefs are going to be favorited.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, and I'm going to hammer whichever underdog it is. Easily. Yep. And I've been thinking about it.
Let's go ahead. Let's do our score predictions for this one. I'll go ahead and start us off. Like I said, I think this is going to come down to the Chiefs having the last drive, game-winning opportunity, but they're just not going to get it done. Mahomes is going to make a mistake, and I got the Bills winning 27-21 in a nail-biter.
I've got Bills 42-38 in a high-scoring big game.
Really high-scoring shit.
Yeah. No, I've got a pretty high-scoring game, too. I have 37-34 Bills. I think it's going to be close. And while I said the defense is going to be the determining factor, I still mean that. I don't think it's going to be a defensive game, but I think it's going to be who makes that play, who makes those two plays on the defensive side of the ball that really makes a difference. So I think the Bills can do that. So 37-34, high-scoring, but close.
I think it's going to be a little bit of a defensive game. I think one of my bets, a little preview for later, one of my bets is on the first half over. But I think the second half things tighten up a lot. Arrowhead gets really loud in the fourth quarter, and I think it's going to be a little lower scoring. I've got the Bills by 1 point.
Ooh.
24-23.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and backtrack a little bit. I just realized we already glossed over the NFC matchup with the Rams and the Bucks. So backtracking a little bit to that one, we got another big matchup. We kind of hinted at the Brady, piece a little bit, but Rams +3 3-point underdogs heading into Tampa Bay this weekend. And the real question is, this is another popular underdog pick. It seems like the public is all over the Bills and all over the Rams. Also makes me nervous now that I think about it that all four of us picked the Bills to win. That's kind of but all right. So this one, I've seen a little bit more 50-50, but a lot of people are on the Rams. So main big question for this one is, can Tom Brady, the God himself, the GOAT, lead this banged up, receiverless Tampa Bay team to another NFC title game, or are they just simply too hurt?
I think they can 100%. I think that this team, he's got Gronk, he's got Evans, Tyler Johnson's not too bad. I'll talk a little bit more about him later. Fournette practice, he'll be back. And either way, even with these guys, even last week, who y'all had with them, it's still better than who we had in New England most of the time he was there.
That's true. Very good point. It's a very good
point. So, I think that he can come out. The offensive line injuries are a little scary. That's my biggest thing. I'm on the Bucs just because I'm not betting against Brady, and I still think that they're the better team. I think this is going to be kind of a lower scoring game too. I think the over's kind of a popular pick, but I'm also the worst total better in any sport that I know. So maybe that means the over's a lock. I don't know.
I'm
but
on the
just
over.
for me, so you're welcome. No, I see it more as an under. Just I think it's going to be a little lower scoring. Just I think the Bucks defense. That's how they got to the Super Bowl last year. They're playing. They're back to that level. It seems like, and the Rams defense, especially if the Bucks don't have Wirfs or Jensen on the offensive line, Donald's going to have he's going to do his thing, and I think it's going to be a little bit lower scoring, but I think the Bucks still get the win. I'm not betting against Brady. I've done that too many times in my life. Not again. Go Bucks.
Yeah, I feel that. I was on the Chiefs last year's Super Bowl because I was like,
Yep.
no, it's a dynasty. And then midway through the second quarter, I was like, fuck, I just bet against Tom Brady.
In the Super Bowl. I had the
Huge
same
mistake. Huge mistake. Anyway, no, but I'm gonna repeat that same mistake, and I'm going with the Rams on this one. I'm the only one here that I think is going with the Rams. I just think that the Buccaneers are a little bit too banged up on both sides of the ball, offense and defense. I think they've gotten a little bit healthier on cornerback, but they're still beat up, and the offensive line issues are a problem. They're also without Antonio Brown, of course, and Chris Godwin, and Mike Evans isn't 100%. I think Gronk is fully back to form, but they're just beat up all around. Every single person has something going on. The Rams, on the other hand, as long as Lions Matt Stafford doesn't show up, I think they can win this game. Cam Akers was a force to be reckoned with. And I think they're going to feed him the ball again, maybe even more than last week. I want to see more of him. Odell has seamlessly fused with the offense now. He is the best wide receiver 2 in the league. And I hate to say that at this point, but he's kick-ass.
T. Higgins?
Sorry to interject. Can we acknowledge for a second that everyone was on Team Baker Mayfield until Odell got to the Rams, and now Odell's dad is probably the greatest dad of all time.
No,
shit on Baker Mayfield in order to get his son off the team, and now his son's balling out.
No, I hate to say this because I was on the complete opposite end, but man, fuck, did he look good against the Cardinals Monday night?
Yeah,
he looked like Giants Odell. And that was the top 5 wide receiver in the league. With him and Cooper Kupp, are you kidding me? Stafford, just the only thing that's going to stop them is Stafford having one of those Lions Matt Stafford games.
Just think, what if Robert Woods didn't get hurt? Like, are we saying this about Odell? Like, or would he like ascend? Like, I don't think there will have been enough targets for him. Like, he'd do well. But I was definitely on the Baker side, so I'm also probably just trying to, save face there. But
I don't know.
It's crazy, man.
I think it would have worked out the same way because Odell's just a guy that needs targets.
He would have had as many targets though. I think. Like
probably
Baker,
not,
but
he'd
do well. I think he'd do well. But we wouldn't be talking about it as much. I think. But the fact he's actually gotten into that 2, like the number 2 spot. Pretty much right away. Props to Odell. I don't like to say it, but props to Odell.
It helped that Robert Woods got hurt, So
yeah.
And then there's Van Jefferson, who's also a dog.
He's a solid wide receiver 3.
Yeah. No, I mean, great in college.
I just want to say that personally, I think T. Higgins is the best wide receiver 2 in the league, but that's just me. I don't know.
That's a whole other conversation we can have.
With that, yeah.
Yeah, well, at least for that 1 week shit.
But
week
anyway,
17 or whatever.
Yeah, just cost me my fantasy championship. It was fine. I didn't even want it.
Same here. More of the story is that I think Rams are going to pull off the upset against the Buccaneers. It's super hard to repeat in this league. There has not been a repeat championship in the NFL since the Patriots' first dynasty in 04 and 05. No. I'm talking about not. I kind of split up the Patriots in 2 dynasties, the first 3 and 4 years and the other 3 championships that they had. I'm talking early 2000s Pats.
I mean, Brady joined in 2003, right?
2000.
2000.
Okay, yeah, the first championship was in 2001. And then they
even
won.
Longer.
But the last back-to-back championships was 03-04. I just don't see that happening again this year, unfortunately.
I'm done betting against Tom Brady. I'm done betting against Tom Brady. I will never bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs again. If you bet against him and you win, props to you. It will not be me ever again because I've lost way too much money betting against Tom Brady in the playoffs. I'm not sure whether they're going to cover in this game, and the Rams really do scare me if I was going to bet on the Bucs because that's where I would lean. The Rams really do scare me. Bucs have the highest blitz percentage in the league. They blitz at the highest rate of all their plays. Matt Stafford had the highest passer rating against the blitz and the best stats against the blitz since the NFL Next Gen Stats era was invented. That scares me a little bit because the Bucs back end, while they play really well, they kind of depend on the blitz to hurry people up in order for their cornerbacks and safeties to make plays. I think this is going to be a really interesting game. I'm going with the Bucs 24-20, but I think that you could get a Rams upset here very easily because while Stafford may not be the best quarterback in the league, if you're going to blitz Stafford, which the Arizona Cardinals did at a 50% clip last week, he's going to torch you. And that's what I'm worried about if the Bucs don't choose to change up their game plan a little bit.
Throwback to before the show when we were talking to North that he was going to get super analytical and they just threw like 50 numbers our way.
I was about to say, God damn, bro, you got the blitz numbers and everything.
To when he just lied to all of our faces.
And that's the only other analytic I'm going to use here.
No, I mean, I'm sure, like, I'm probably like the same way as you. You know, like you probably just like read, like, you know, saw that online or read that, and like that number stuck in your head for some reason.
Oh,
right?
I read that just now. I have the page pulled up.
Okay, well, shit, that makes sense. Yeah. I was about to say, sometimes, like, for some reason, I'm just like good at remembering the most obscure random stats ever that I saw like one time, but in terms of remembering shit that I actually need to remember, just nope, out the door. Just sports numbers. So
all of my knowledge is not meaningful whatsoever.
Exactly. All right, so Noah has it as Bucs winning 24-20. He said. So I actually, as this whole conversation was going on, I just revised my prediction. I originally, and I'm gonna go with my gut here because, as I said before, my preseason pick was Rams versus Bills in the Super Bowl. I was super high on the Stafford-McVay connection coming in, and I'm even higher on the Stafford Cup connection now. I just got to go with my gut. The whole reason I originally had the Bucs was because that whole "don't bet against Brady" sentiment. Fuck that. I'm scared. I'm terrified to do this, but I'm switching it up, and I'm going to go with Rams to win 34-31. I am a part of that popular public that's taking the over. I know 80% is betting on the over, but I'm still riding with the high scoring game. I think it's bound to happen, but who knows in playoff football? What do you guys got for the score?
30-24 Rams.
30-24 Rams.
Mm-hmm.
I've got 23-17 Bucs. Like I said, I think it's going to be a little lower scoring, so it's definitely going over. And I do kind of like my Bucs pick now that we'll get to later. That the Rams are also getting super public, so feel a little bit better about the Bucs pick. But all in all, dude, totals are awful. I also I'm switching the channels. ESPN Plus is the greatest thing, you know, no free ads, but also free ads because ESPN Plus is great. Love watching all the games. I got hockey, I got college basketball. Murray State, Eastern Illinois. Eastern Illinois has been an under machine. So, of course, I get on them now, and they let Murray State put up almost 50 in the first half. So, it's whatever, you know.
I'm sick of college basketball, bro.
Dude, totals are not my thing. College basketball I've been good except for this week, and this week has just been like not. It hasn't been like, oh, kind of bad. It's been like 1-4, 1-3, like just not even close. So
this is how my day's going. Just red so far on my picks.
You know, Coastal Carolina was nice for me. I had that game on. They won outright. I had them +2. But the under, yeah, they're not looking great. But nonetheless, total's not my friend. Bucs, Tom Brady might be my friend. So we'll see.
All right. That's it for the rest of the matchups now. It's time to get to the game we are here for. I know you guys are excited. I am both excited and metaphorically and literally shitting bricks. I am so anxious for this game to happen. I want to win. I mean, simply put, I just want to win. I know you guys want to win too.
I like how it's the Saturday first game. At first, I saw that. I was like, wait, it's the 1 seed. It's the first game getting played. But the closer I get to it, I've been watching just so many hype videos, so many highlights, so many everything. And I'm just like, okay, yeah, I'm happy it's the Saturday at 3:30 game. Like, I want to know. I want to.
Yeah, I want to just get
I'm
it done
ready.
with.
Like, I'm just ready. I care about all these games, but this game, I'm ready.
If it was the Sunday night game, dude, I don't know if I could handle waiting. But so for those that don't know, this matchup, Bengals and Titans, is quite literally a dream matchup for our podcasts here at GTD Sports because we got a little friendly rivalry spread out. You know, we got Zach as a Titans fan, Noah as a Titans fan, me as a Bengals fan. Elijah, I'm sorry the Cowboys are left out in this equation, but
I'm not sorry.
you got next year, you know?
Me either. I won 2 bets on the Niners.
The Super Bowl is next year.
I accidentally
No,
bet
it's Super Bowl
$100 on
next
the
year,
Niners.
yeah.
The Super Bowl is next year. so
This is our year. I
Cowboys are
accidentally
winning.
bet $100 on the Niners. That was a fun instead of just like a $10 something. I fat thumbed and hit double zeros and hit submit, and it was $100 on Niners +3. So,
Oh, dude, see, I had
God
like
bless
60
the
on
Niners, baby.
Cowboys.
God bless Debo Samuel. He's the best.
I put $100 on the Cowboys on purpose, drunkenly. So alcohol was influenced in that decision. Just want to
Yeah.
put that
So,
out
so
there.
not on purpose. We can say it
Yeah.
wasn't on purpose.
No, it was on purpose because I was like, should I hedge it? Because this is kind of dumb. And I was like, no, fuck that. Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl. That was
Yeah.
just-
No, like the closer I got to it with the Niners being a public dog, I was like, oh, Cowboys -3 is the easy play here. And I was like, well, here we go. Like I've been on Niners all week, just accidentally bet $100 on them. Here we go. It worked out. Public
was
dogs
on
don't
the
always work
opposite
out,
end.
but it worked out.
I was on the opposite end, sadly, but we live to see another day. We're making a comeback this
We're
weekend.
here. We're still breathing.
Yeah, we're still here. We're making some more picks this weekend, but this matchup, Bengals and Titans, the 1 seed against the 4 seed in the AFC. The Bengals are coming off their first playoff win in 31 years, the longest drought in the NFL. And another record that could be broken this weekend is Cincinnati has never won a road playoff game in franchise history. Both of their Super Bowl trips, they were the 1 seed and had home field advantage throughout. So all I got to say to that is 2022 is the year of broken curses. Joe Shiesty, Joey Burr, the savior of Cincinnati, is here to break everything. What do you guys have to say about that?
I just
All
have
right.
one question.
What's up?
Did you send a Bengals text about them winning?
Oh,
in the
immediately. I think I can claim, I mean, of course, there's like literally no way to prove it, but I could claim that I sent that shit immediately. I had it ready, clicked it immediately, sent it to my buddy who's also a Bengals fan. So I feel like I was the first person in the world to text.
We'll
about
say
it.
it. GTD
Yeah.
breaking news.
Exactly.
Ryan was the first ever Bengals win a playoff game text message sent. So
You can't prove it
for you,
otherwise.
no,
It's
that-
kind of
that's-
like being the first comment on Instagram.
Exactly.
yeah,
Or like
you
out
know,
on TikTok, motherfuckers just comment first, like right when you post a video. It's like, dude, just
Yeah.
go away, bro. Like,
Yeah. No, so I mean, good for you. I think that's as good as it's going to get. Noah, am I right? I think that's the peak of your existence. So I'm so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You
Hey,
know,
let's give it up for the Bengals.
yeah,
Zach.
just
Let's give it
you know,
up.
we're so happy for them. They're fantastic. You know,
Terrific.
Joe Burrow has had a great year. Those glasses were
Bang up job.
fantastic. He kept a straight face when he said no, that he didn't hear a whistle. You know, props to everyone on that. You
dude,
know?
he was definitely bullshitting, bro. He heard that
Dude,
whistle,
everyone
dude.
did that whole
He
segment
knew
just
it.
killed me. They just showed Zach Taylor, they showed Joe Burrow. No, I didn't hear anything. Nope. No, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, dude, they were definitely bullshitting. Dude, this is, bro, I know you guys are the 1 seed. I know you guys had the better regular season. I know the Titans have Derrick Henry coming back, but I think right now the Bengals are hot. Not as hot as teams like the Bills, you know, and the Chiefs, but the Bengals are hot. They're playing good football. They're playing together. The culture is there. it just seems like the momentum is going in their favor right now. And I know, I mean, obviously Vegas has them as the underdogs for a reason. The Titans, I think, should be favored in this game. But I don't know. It's hard to stray away from my bias tendencies, Like, it's hard to say anything without just being 100% biased in this situation because I'm just at the point where I'm like, fuck it, we've made it this far. We're going to the Super Bowl, baby, Like,
they're definitely hot, and that's great. But do you know what wins in the playoffs? The cold, and winter is here. Derrick Henry's back.
Yes, sir.
They're going to be bruised, and it's going to be something. And, I could give my unbiased opinion. I could say, Bengals are hot. They're good. I could be worried, but that's not what this is for. Give me all the bias. I think there's too much talk about, oh, there's bias there. Oh, there's no bias there. Give me all the bias. That's why baseball announcers are fun. Like when you watch baseball and you're listening to like the Cardinals announcers talk about how awesome the Cardinals are. Like, yeah, give me all that. Like, that's what makes it great. We need more bias in the sports media today. So give me the Titans. Winners here. I've got I drink and I know things, and I know Derrick Henry's going to have a day.
See, that Derrick Henry terrifies me because as confident as I am in the Bengals offense and their ability to move the ball and make big plays, I'm just on the opposite side of things. I'm just as, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, not confident, nervous, scared about Derrick Henry going off. Yeah, all of the above for Derrick Henry going off for 200 yards. I mean, if Josh Jacobs can put up 100, Derrick Henry can probably put up 300. And our D-line is a little bit banged up. DJ Reader has been battling an injury. Trey Hendrickson, one of our 3 Pro Bowlers, is coming off a concussion in the game against the Raiders. He's supposed to be cleared to play, but I mean, that still kind of sucks. So that's going to be one of the keys to the game, really, is going to be just stopping that behemoth of a man that is Derrick Henry. And you guys probably know more about this than me, and like have been following, his injury, his return and everything. So where is he in terms of, full ability to play? Is he 100%?
Allegedly.
But
here's the thing. The Titans were still 5th in the league in rushing without Derrick Henry. Deontay Foreman is a force to be reckoned with behind that offensive line, which is built to run the ball.
He's a big old boy.
The Bengals defensive line scares me a little bit. But I think we have the advantage on the lines of scrimmage purely because the Bengals offensive line is so bad.
Yeah, no, I think you guys have the advantage on the line of scrimmage for sure. But I will say our secondary, although we don't have, you could say that Jesse Bates is, a marquee premier name, but guys like Chidobe Awuzie, Mike Hilton, Von Bell, those aren't like, top of the line Pro Bowl, all pro type guys. But in recent weeks, especially, they've been coming up with just huge plays out of nowhere, just like random interceptions that change the pace of the game like that. And so what I'm kind of relying on defensively, at least for the Bengals, is I expect the D-line to get beat up because, I mean, your O-line is fantastic. Derrick Henry's amazing, obviously. I just hope, and I'm hoping that they make that one play that they've been doing in like the past 5 weeks, that 1 or 2 big plays. And like Elijah said too, like on the turnover battle, like of course it's kind of mundane to say like whoever wins the turnover battle is going to win the game. Like obviously that's one of the biggest factors in football, but I think in this matchup, with as close as it'll be, there might only be 1 turnover in the game, and that 1 turnover could decide the entire game. I don't see either team fumbling. I mean, you can't really predict fumbles per se.
Please don't say that.
Actually, you know what? No, the Titans are not going to fumble, dude. Derrick Henry never fumbles.
It was like me last week when I was tweeting at you. Dude, there's no way the Bengals can blow this lead. There's absolutely no way. Like there's.
Dude, I was sweating last week.
I can imagine. No, like it's.
God. So I don't think last year's game is necessarily a good indicator of what's going to happen in this game because it's 2 very different teams. However, in that game last year, Joe Burrow was running for his life as he was in every game. The difference is the Titans had the worst pass rush by far in the league. The Titans have a much better pass rush this year. And And the thing was that even though Joe Burrow was running for his life, y'all still won the game because Joe Burrow was able to get out of all of those sacks.
Yeah, y'all were 14-point favorites last year. I forgot about that. I bet on y'all. That's when I stopped believing in the Titans.
That was like one of our 2 wins.
Just because, like, the Titans, like, the most Titans thing that could ever happen happened this year. We go on a 6-game winning streak, 5 in a row against playoff teams from the year before, and then the following week, what do? We lose to the Texans. I was making
Titans
jokes.
fans, y'all are funny, man.
I was surprised, but it still hurt.
Y'all are like the Bucks or the Jazz of the NBA. Just like every time y'all are good, you're like, why aren't you talking about us? Like, why aren't you talking about how good we are? And then people finally start talking about y'all, and y'all go just like, stop talking about us. Like, you're making us bad now. Like,
I love it. I love it. I go all in both sides just because it's fun. Like
it's the constant up and down of being a Titans fan. It really is throughout the years. Like the hope of Mariota sucks. He had some great moments, and you bet your ass that we were really, really vocal about those great moments. We were also very vocal about Mariota sucking. Back to this game, though. Here's where I think the difference is. We know the Titans love to run on second down. It's one of the things that our coordinator, Todd Downing, gets the most heat for.
I'm so excited for the stat.
That they absolutely love to run the ball on second down. The Bengals are last in the league by a wide margin over the second half of the season in rushing EPA per play on second down.
All right, so
Derrick Henry is going to make so much money on second down, and I really think that's going to be a big difference in this game because the Titans get in third and short. Ryan Tannehill is very good at converting those third and shorts. You get into 3rd and 10, that's way less manageable situation. And so I think if Titans can stay in 3rd and short situations, have a lot of success on second down, I think it's going to be a good sign for the Titans. We'll put it that way if that happens.
So before, I knew you were going to bring in a stat at some point. So
second down was like, I was not ready for that, but I love it.
I know that in particular, that's specific, but I was nervous I wouldn't have a rebuttal, but I do have a rebuttal. The Bengals are a fucking NFL team that are capable of watching film and realizing that the Titans probably run the ball on second down over half of the time.
But the stats say that they're incapable of stopping it. Whether
if they focus their game plan around it.
Guys, breaking news. The Bengals are an NFL team. Ryan just
I'm just saying they're fully capable of making adjustments. I mean, maybe it's been bad, and you do bring up a good point with the 3rd and shorts because we have not been great in 3rd and short situations, but we have been fantastic at bringing pressure in 3rd and long situations. I don't know what to say. I memean, obviously, Derrick Henry is going to run over us. I think that's expected. If he doesn't go for 100 yards, I will be very, very shocked. But I think that won't be like the end all be all, the second down runs. I think we'll make the necessary adjustments. I would hope, because Zach Taylor has been doing a kick-ass job this year, and I would hate to see him crash and burn, at this stage.
I think the Bengals are gonna win. I'm on Team Bungles right now.
Yes, sir.
The skill position is better for the Bengals side. You have Boyd, Higgins, Chase, Mixon, along with Joe Burrow. I don't know how healthy Derrick Henry is going to be when he comes back. And I also, A.J. Brown, is he back or is he just out?
Everyone's healthy.
Everyone's healthy.
Zero injured.
Yeah, well, there's always an asterisk when it comes to Julio Jones and being healthy, so there's that also. Man, I don't know.
The Titans have been better than every team in the league when healthy.
So in my mind too, which makes me feel even better about my pick on the Bengals, is that 62% of the bets are on the Titans. And for me, it feels like the easy layup should be Bengals spread, but it's not. It's Titans minus 3.5. So that makes me feel even more confident about Bengals covering and probably winning this game. I don't know. Joe Burrow is daddy. Like, it's
Yes,
plain
sir.
as day.
Yes,
He
sir.
really is. I hate to say it and give that to you, Ryan, but he is. I mean, that's a bad fucking
Can we put
man.
that on TikTok? Can you clip that right quick?
Just clip it. Joe Burrow is daddy, nothing else on repeat.
Just on a loop.
Yeah.
No,
He
I mean,
is.
I 100% agree. I mean, of course, I'm gonna agree as a Bengals fan, but like, I've said this before on the podcast, but like the fact that the number one pick, the sure thing, has actually turned into everything we thought he could have. It has just been everything we've needed as the Bengals organization. We deserve Joe Burrow, honestly, after all of this. And that's another one of the keys to the game is not only, of course, Joe Burrow is going to have to show up like he did against the Raiders, but it's going to be that Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase connection. Because obviously, like I said, the Bengals can watch film and adjust on that second down run. The Titans can watch film and know that, Burrow's going to target Chase at least 10 times a game. So it's really, that's going to be a big factor as well, as if that connection can develop. Because of course he can rely on Higgins and Boyd, but that's not what he wants to do. That's not what the offense has been geared towards this season. So that's going to be another really big factor in this one too.
And
I
Burrow
think
has
that-
shown throughout his entire career, college and pros, anytime he needs to show up in big games, he shows up.
He literally every single game. It's actually crazy. And I don't want to say that, and like jinx him, but I mean, it's Big Dick
he's
Joe.
So
like
jinxed. He's so jinxed.
Oh,
right
fuck
now.
you. No, it's
You-
Big
you
Dick
messed
Joe,
up.
bro.
He's so
You can't deny Big Dick Joe, dude.
He wants the victory cigar. He wants
does.
it.
He does, dude.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're doing that
that
until after.
That's the big thing to me when I look at this game. It's going to be the Titans secondary because the Titans defense has been much improved. Got the great front seven, great pass rush. Finally, secondary has been good, but they're susceptible to big plays. And I think it all comes down to Jackrabbit Jenkins. When I was a St. Louis Rams fan and watched him in St. Louis every week, he was the exact same player. He will either be locked down or he will give up 3 50-yard plays in a game. And he's still, years later, that's what he's doing in Tennessee. So I think he's the big player. If he shows up to play, I think Titans take care of business. Jamar Chase is going to get his. There's no doubt about that. But it's just, will it be those huge plays or will it just be like, okay, he gets 100 yards and maybe a touchdown, but it's not on a big play. So I think it comes down to Jackrabbit Jenkins. Fulton has been great, a great young corner. You're going to hear all over that they all played at LSU together. That's all fun and dandy and whatever. But I think it comes down to Jackrabbit Jenkins. If he comes to play, I think it's Titans pretty easy. Not necessarily easy because I think it's going to be a close game regardless. But I think they can cover. If he doesn't show up to play and he gives up 2 huge bombs to Jamar Chase, that's when it's going to get interesting.
Yeah, that's a good point too, is limiting those plays with Chase. Yeah, because I mean, half of the time his plays are like 30-yard passes at least, of him just I remember it was the Chiefs game where he went off for like 260 yards, It was just they would be double teaming him. He would still come up with the ball and just, do that little celebration where you like put your hand down and be like, you're too small for me or whatever. Like, I just personally, even if they adjust, I don't think there's a way to stop this dude at this point.
You can only contain.
Yeah, you just got to limit the big plays.
Have to know that going in.
Definitely. So, Elijah, I have a question for you as the unbiased member of this party in this game. Oh, wait, he's putting on his headphones real quick. Elijah, so question for you as the unbiased member of this podcast right now. What do you think? This is not even to do with the game. This is just about the fandom of each team. What do you think is the better slogan? Who Day or Tighten Up? You're on mute.
Tighten up. Who is stupid?
Bro, what are you talking about?
It's who dat is so much better.
Bro,
Tighten
what are you
the
talking about?
Yeah, tighten up's cooler.
Wait, hold on. No. Wait, hold on. Well, I'm gonna Google this. What?
You're
came
gonna bring
first?
some like historic, like
Saints.
You were a history nerd, weren't you, Ryan? I can tell.
Kind of was actually. I love history in high school.
No, I'm not gonna lie, I am too. But
Okay.
don't tell anyone. We're definitely not recording live. Don't tell anyone.
So, okay, Who Day versus Who Dat. The history, who said it first, and where.
Okay, Even if Who Day came first, Who Dat is still cooler.
Who Day came first. Bengals may have started. They used it on official merchandise first. Oh wait, but it has been said about the Saints since
Yeah.
the team has been in Louisiana.
No, that's why I've literally heard, because I've heard this argument so many times just on random things, and every Bengals fan has their sources that they were first, and every Saints fan has their sources that they were first. Like at this point, I don't know, so it's just which one I like more. Who
I like
Dat
Tighten
just
Up.
is like it's more solid. Who Day
So what is
like,
what is Who Dat though? Because Who Day is like a song. It's Who Day, Who Day, Who Day think gonna beat them Bengals. Who Day, Who
The
Day.
Saints
it's
is
who
the
dat, like
exact
who's
same.
that? Like who's that's trying to play? Like who's
That's
that?
stupid, bro.
Who
That's
dat?
come on, bro.
I think it's also like a Louisiana thing, like Who Dat.
that
Yeah.
that definitely is more of a Louisiana way of
Yeah,
saying
no,
it. Who
and it
dat.
just
Sounds like
it's
something
And-
more like
Coach would
solid. Like
say.
it's just more like
And I'm pretty
Who
sure
dat
it's a
from
scientific
E
fact
to N.
that the people of Louisiana are cooler than the people of Cincinnati, Ohio.
Hey man, I went to the Cincinnati Alabama playoff game. Some of
I'm
the
sure they were
nicest fans
nice.
I've ever met, dude.
Yeah, they're nice, cool.
I added a couple of them on LinkedIn, bro. They were trying to give me an
Yeah,
internship.
no, Cincinnati, honestly, great city. That's where my fake ID said I was from. It's fantastic. Can't beat it. I
Also,
actually
yeah,
went there.
address.
I went there a few years ago. First and only time. I will give credit. The Bengal Stadium is like the biggest stadium I've ever seen, like in person. Like when you walk past it downtown, like it's gigantic. Went to a Reds game. Cardinals destroyed them, which was fantastic. But the stadium's there, super nice. And we drove past my address, and there was a park right like across the street. It was a nice little neighborhood. I had a great life. I
Living
grew
a
up
nice
great
fake life.
Yeah, so it was great.
Oh, that's funny.
Unfortunately,
Paul Brown
I never
Stadium is
got out
nice.
to Stevens, Arkansas.
Oh, were you from Arkansas?
You were
on
in
yours?
Arkansas, man.
Stevens, Arkansas.
I used my when I had mine. I used because my brother is older than me and he lived in Atlanta the whole time I was in college. So I just used he was in the swim club at his college. I used the swim club's party house address as my address. So
Yeah. I had a buddy that graduated like a year or two before, like 2 years before me. And when the day that he turned 21, he went and got it sideways because he wanted it. And then he gave his old ID to me that I used for 2 straight years, and it never failed. But we look nothing alike. But in the picture, for some reason, he looks just like me. Just like he's doing the standard white person smile. You know what I'm saying? And
we all kill it.
yeah, we all got it down on lock.
yup.
And no, it worked for me too. So I was from Joshua, just like in real life, and on my fake ID. Except my name was Tyler Farco and not Elijah Span.
I love how we just incriminated all of ourselves on the air.
It's statute of limitations. It's
Yeah.
What's
What are they
the-
gonna do? All right. Anyway, though, back to Bengals Titans. Let's go ahead. Let's do our score predictions. I'll go ahead and start this one off. As I said, I think this is going to be a really, really close game, no matter who comes out on top. But of course, I have the Bengals winning. I'm taking the Bengals to win 24-23 in a 1-point game. I have Shooter
Book missed an extra
McPherson.
point, didn't he?
What?
Randy Book missed an extra point, didn't he?
Yeah,
That-
Fat Randy. Fuck that guy. Have fun dealing with it. He used to be a Bengal, and now I'm good riddance, dude. We have Evan McPherson, who is daddy. Shooter
He was very nice in
McPherson.
fantasy for me this year.
Yeah, Shooter McPherson, a.k.a. Money McPherson. I have him winning on a last-second field goal to send us to the AFC Championship. 24-23 is my prediction. What do you
All
got,
right.
Matt?
I'll go. Titans 31-28. Fat Randy gets it done. End of the game. Fuck you, Ryan. Fat Randy's the GOAT.
Pat Randy, we love him.
Titans 31-28.
I love that he's Fat Randy, though. I
Yeah.
love that. That's
Yeah,
Universally.
it is the best. Because when he hits it, it's awesome. Yeah, Fat Randy. Then all of a sudden he misses. Dude, you're just fat.
Randy.
yeah. He's,
Fat. It works both ways. It's fantastic.
and he misses.
He was my fantasy kicker this season. Decent.
Yeah, I had him for a few weeks, and then all of a sudden he went like back to back, like 1 point weeks. I'm like,
Well, it started out as the Seahawks kicker Myers. He sucked. So
yeah.
went with him. But anyway, score prediction. I got 33-24 Bengals.
Whew, not even close.
I was about to say that's a big win.
I've got 27-20 Titans. I think it's close, but I think the Titans can cover and have a good game.
EPA per play on second down in the second half of the season. Book it.
All I want to say though is Noah, in your prediction 31-28, you have the Bengals covering, which I mean, that's something.
No, I think 3.5 is too far.
Yeah, I do too. I'm surprised
trying to
it's that
find
much.
3. I'm trying to find 3 with not that much juice. If I can find 3 for like -115, I'm hammering it. But I just don't want 3 like -125, 130. Like
Yeah, 3.5 is
I
a
will
weird
do
number.
3.5 if I have to. But
A half point in the NFL is a lot.
oh yeah, especially at the 3 and the 7. That half point is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And like 4.5 is a fucking number because a lot of
I
times
learned-
teams win by 4.
The difference between 6 and 7 is just unbelievably big.
Yeah, it's huge. Elijah, what you
I don't know though. I've seen a lot of like 6.5 point spreads, and I'm like, it's not 7. I'm hammering the favorite, and then of course they cover. So 6.5 is a lot of points.
Yeah, then they win by like 4 or 5 or something ridiculous.
I bet the
Yeah.
Raiders
a
plus
weird
6.
score. I did too. I did too. I like the Bengals more than the Raiders, but that's why.
Yes,
Dude,
sir.
that's why
I thought the Raiders were going to cover. I did not bet that
why-
game.
All of a sudden they kicked the field goal, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "Yeah, I guess it makes sense. You know, makes a 1-score game." But I was like, "But you know, you could be covering right now."
6
I
points
wanted
is
them to
a
go
lot of
for it.
points to give a team with a good quarterback.
It is though, yeah.
Yeah, like if that game was something. But yeah, so 27-20 is mine. I think it's close throughout, but you know, I could see the Bengals going on a last couple minute drive needing a touchdown, and then Jack Rabbit Jenkins comes out of nowhere.
Nah, fuck that.
Overtime Derrick Henry walk off.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I would actually
I don't know
cry
if
if that happened, dude.
Handle an overtime game.
Yeah, I don't know.
Love it, but like at the same
Nissan
time,
Stadium would crumble. It would crumble to the ground.
dude, I wish I could be there this weekend so bad.
I tried to go to the game. It's $300 to sit in the last row in the stadium, and I'm just not gonna do.
Dude, that's why like I'm literally just trying to think like, okay, I'm trying to pull like my whole net worth. Like, how can I go if the Titans win? How can I go to Nashville for the AFC Championship? Like, I'm trying to figure it out. Probably won't happen. 99% chance it won't happen. But
if you somehow make it here, I'll go with you.
All right,
we'll get the tickets.
We'll text. We'll talk.
Yeah.
We'll coordinate.
I'm holding out for the Super Bowl, bro. If somehow, I mean, obviously, I don't expect it to happen by any means, but if somehow the Bengals actually make the Super Bowl, dude, I will sell all of my personal belongings. I don't care what it takes, dude. I will be at that game.
What if
it's in LA?
Dallas?
If it was in Dallas, that would be amazing because it's like a 10-minute drive for me.
I doubt that's going to happen, but I'm probably coming down to Dallas. I have one of my best friends from college lives in Dallas, and he was calling me earlier, like right when all the news was coming out, like, oh, it might get moved to Dallas. I don't think it will, but he was like,
oh, wait, really?
Like, yeah,
if it got moved to Dallas, I'm going.
Yeah, because like
I'll
just LA, like with all like they might not allow fans with all their like mandates and stuff. So
interesting.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but this came out like a week or two ago. Like, oh, it's possible. Like they're starting to develop a backup plan, which would be Dallas. And so my buddy like called me and he's like, bro, you have no excuse not to come to Dallas if the Super Bowl comes here. Like, obviously we're not going to the game, but like we're going to all these different tents. We're going tailgate. We're gonna do all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I'll be there.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Super Bowl, like shit. Dude, that would actually be amazing if that.
So we'll
that
see.
would
Like I
definitely
said,
work out.
I don't think it's
And
gonna happen.
I will say it's a travesty that Cowboy Stadium has only hosted one Super Bowl since it's been built.
Well, it blinds
Cowboys
their
Stadium is
players.
not that great of a place to watch.
It blinds their players. That was like
Well,
one
the
time.
3 o'clock games are jackass. That fucked us in the ass last week.
I hate the jumbotron there. I hate it.
I know.
What?
'Cause
I
you
love
just
it.
end up watching the
Punch love it,
jumbotron
though.
instead
It's
of the
too
game.
big. It's
Punch
literally
love it,
too
though. The
big.
ball goes right off it.
It's so big, it's distracting to fans who are trying to watch from the nosebleeds and can't do anything but watch this giant ass jumbotron. You might
It's
as well be
facts.
on your couch.
That's facts. That is facts. But it's a beautiful stadium. You can get a nice, good $12 beer there.
That's what I was about to
And,
say.
It's Jerry's house.
Yeah, it's beautiful. And I guess one last thing, I just literally looked at the notes again. The thing I've been saying all the time: Mike Vrabel 8-0 after buys and mini buys. Anything from Thursday to the next week, or he's actually had a bye. He's 8-0, so there's no reason to think that that's going to end. So, cheers to that, Coach of the Year.
I
He is
mean,
Coach of
just
the
to combat that point, Joe Burrow is also undefeated in winner go home games in his entire career.
Ho, ho, ho.
1-0.
One must break.
1-0.
No, he won two playoff games in college, and he won the state championship in high school.
Against Oklahoma's JV, last in the Big 12 defense.
Fuck off, okay? He
look
won
at
a
them
national
physically. Mike
championship.
Vrabel, Joe Burrow, physically, who would I take?
I don't know, bro. Vrabel's got him in that 40-yard dash, bro. I don't know.
No, Vrabel's a bad motherfucker, that's for sure.
Do you see the new
around.
Brady documentary come out, and then it details about how Mike Vrabel is catching all those touchdowns for Brady?
I haven't watched it yet.
No shit. I'm pretty sure Vrabel's like 10th, like top 10 for most touchdown receptions from Brady.
Probably. Like
I'm
he
not
caught a
even
bunch.
joking.
I forgot the number, but I think
I think
last
it's like
year.
5 or 7.
It was like last year, Michael Pruitt caught like his first touchdown, and then in the locker room, I forget the number, but he was like, "Hey, congrats to Pruitt, like Prue, for your first touchdown. You've only got, I don't know, like 5 more, like 10 more, 5 more, like to beat me or something." He said some number. I don't remember what the number was, but it was very funny.
All right, well, let's go ahead and get in. Now that we've got our score predictions out of the way, let's go ahead and get into our friendly little wager we have set up for this game. So Noah and I were also talking. Zach and I have had this one set up now for a couple days, but Noah and I were talking, trying to figure one out. But I think we decided, Noah, are you good to just hop in on this bet as well?
You know what? Yeah, why not?
All right. So our plan is Bengals, Titans. I'm a Bengals fan. Both of them are Titans fans. So rather than wagering money on the spread or the money line or anything like that, we're going to place a little friendly bet between all of us here at GTD Sports. So if the Bengals win, and this all has to do with TikTok, if the Bengals win, Noah and Zach will have to post on TikTok wearing a Bengals jersey because they beat the Titans. They will have to post on TikTok a different thirst trap or cringy dance every single day in that jersey until the NFL team leaves a comment on their video. So basically, they have to keep posting it until one of their videos goes super viral. This has been done with fantasy football punishments before. It has worked a lot of times. NFL teams are very active on TikTok and vice versa. So if Noah and Zach, if the Titans win, they will be the winners, and I will be posting on my TikTok in a Titans jersey, thirst traps, dances every day until they comment on the video. So
you're gonna look so good in the two-tone blue. That's all I'm gonna say. With your eyes, you're gonna look beautiful. That's all I'm gonna
My
say.
Youth XL Chris
two-tone
Johnson
blue.
jersey is gonna look so good on you.
actually, that would be hilarious.
Actually,
Please,
yeah,
if
with
that's
the
the case,
thirst
send me
trap,
that. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure, like, if the Bengals win, I'll just send you, because I have 2 jerseys. I'll just send you one of mine for a little bit, and you ship it back when you're done.
Yeah.
But this is a viral or bust type of bet. And if we don't go viral, then it's really going to fucking suck. So,
Hey, I'm a committed man, and I've been dying to post more TikToks. It's been a little bit for me, but betting on the rocks on TikTok. Last few were good. Don't talk about how they were like 2 months ago. We don't have to worry about a timeline, but pretty solid there. So ready to post some more, and yeah, betting on the rocks. Check it out.
Tighten up.
yeah, wait, Noah, I haven't even thought about that. Do you have a personal TikTok you post on at all, or would you have to make one?
I have one.
Have you ever posted anything?
Yeah, I posted one thing. I'll send it to you.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that'll be fun. So we'll definitely be sure to update everybody on the GTD Sports social media with how that's going and all the dances and whatnot that happens. But thought that would be fun, rather, because another one of my ideas was dyeing our hair the color of the opposing team. But as Zach brought up,
It's a lot of work.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad.
I have a
Trust me, I
job.
want to do that so bad. But like I literally have to be I'm in sales, sadly, until I get to do sports full time. So sponsors, if you're listening,
Sales life. Heard.
yeah, no, I literally have to be in person in sales. I'm like, yeah, I can't just show up with although orange wouldn't be as bad as blue. Like at least orange, it could be like, okay, there are people with like kind of orange hair, but I was like, I really wish I would because I love bets and like money bets or whatever, but like, yeah, just literally anything. Like I'll do it. I was for it. I'm like, I had to be like, okay, I had to like take a step back. Nah, can't do this. My boss will look at me like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. I want to say, though, you guys are technically at the advantage considering the Titans are money line favorites, but I'm rolling with my boys. I still
That's
believe.
what I wasn't going to bring it up. I was going to say, we're doing the straight up, right?
Yep, straight up. I don't give a damn.
I was
I'm
gonna say,
ready.
Because, like, honestly, I'm at the point where I'm like, I'm betting Titans, betting a pretty sizable amount. But if they win by 1, I'm still just as ecstatic. Like, I don't care. Like, they just need to win.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
But, like, so
I just
I'm
wanna win.
gonna, I'll bet on them pretty good amount. But, yeah, if they win by 1 or 2, I do not care.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be close. Well, I guess I can't really guarantee it, but it should be one
I
of the
think it
better
will be.
matchups. Yeah,
I think it will
the
be a
playoff
very
series.
good game. And I think, like, obviously, Chiefs Bills is getting all the hype, which is understandable. Like it is because they are two like juggernaut franchises the last couple years, 2 great young quarterbacks. Don't sleep on Tannehill though. So I'm gonna say, don't sleep on Tannehill. Thrill. He's
Okay.
they're gonna look at the 2019. Oh, he only threw for 80. He only threw for 80 yards. That's all he had to do. Like he threw the ball.
Yeah, with Derrick Henry, but
He threw the ball 10 times. What do you want? Like 200 yards from that? Like, come on. Believe in Thrill. Don't sleep.
I do not, and I will not. Anyway, though. All right, moving on, though. That's it for our Bengals Titans little rivalry segment. We got a little bit
too long, but also not long enough.
Yeah, exactly. We got a little bit moving on from football too. We got a big UFC fight card this weekend. UFC 270 with Francis Ngannou versus Cyril Gane. We've kind of gone a little late, so I'm gonna try and just gloss over this. Won't spend too much time on it, but this is truly, I mean, one of the biggest fights. Not so much the biggest fight card because there's not 3, 4, 5 title fights like big ones we've had in recent history, but I feel like a kid in a candy shop every time I see one of these big fights come up. Like the main card, we got Ngannou versus Gane. We also have in the flyweight division Brandon Moreno versus Davison Figueiredo, and then on the bottom of the main card we have Syed Nurmagomedov, versus Cody Stamann. And although Nurmagomedov, you would expect is Khabib's brother, it's not Khabib's brother, but
it's his cousin.
I'm still rocking with him no matter what. Dude, his name is Nurmagomedov, bro. He's gonna win. Like what? That's all it takes. So
all right, before we get too deep in this, I just have a couple things I need to say. So as someone, I kind of said a few times, like jokingly, like explain to me like I'm 5. As someone who loves the UFC but cannot bet UFC and has not placed a bet on UFC just because the favorites are so like minus like a huge amount. What are the bets? What are the go-tos? While you're talking, just let me know because I love UFC, but I've never bet UFC because I'm like, I don't know how to bet this. I don't want to bet a plus 2,000 or a minus 2,000 winner.
Oh, dude, no, I probably put at least one play in every fight card. Like
beautiful.
I'd say the way to go
parlays.
With those big money lines, because you're right, it is shitty to have like a minus 300 favorite, but truly parlays are the way to go. It's really the only way to kind of make up your money in the UFC.
Parlays,
and then
baby.
Also on top of that, I tend to stray away from over-under bets in UFC unless it's like a sure thing that it goes the distance, with guys that just have iron chins, never get knocked out. But so I try and stay away from the over-unders because they're just so unpredictable. Because it literally just one punch changes.
I was going to say, I don't do over-unders with football, basketball, hockey, anything, baseball. So
totals are the bane of my existence. I agree with you.
So another play I typically go with is those slight underdogs. Like this card, a great example is Gane is a minus 155 favorite over Ngannou, and Ngannou is plus 135. So that's not like crazy plus money, but it's a little bit of juice, and there's a lot of value, especially in this fight this weekend. I cannot believe it is unfathomable to think that Ngannou is the underdog in this fight. I mean, I can't. I know that Gane is really, really good, but Ngannou is just a freak of nature. So
Ngannou's a grown fucking man.
dude,
Oh,
That's my
look now.
favorite fighter. He's my favorite fighter in the UFC, and him at plus 135. Like I know I'm gonna bet on it, but it makes too much sense. Like I know I'm probably gonna lose money.
that's
Like
I'm
same
scared,
thing with Poirier. Poirier, I was like, damn, Poirier has looked so good his last 2 fights. He got his ass kicked by Olivier. I'm getting a little bit of those vibes, and I'm still gonna ignore him, and I'm gonna bet in Ngannou because Ngannou, he's not gonna lose. Ngannou is scary.
Dude,
He's probably the last person. If you were to put anybody in fisticuffs in the world's history, prime Ngannou is probably gonna be at the top of that list.
We're getting it. We just pulled it up.
And he's in his
yeah, you're
Boom.
placing that.
Ngannou
yeah.
placed.
I'm betting big on Ngannou. I really think. I mean, so obviously Ngannou is this freak of nature. You know, Dana White has
I'm gonna
famously
have to do
said.
it too.
It's
Dana White
placed.
has famously said that Ngannou's punch is more powerful than a forward focus going full speed running into somebody. So that's the kind of shit you're dealing with if you're Gane. But the thing about this matchup is, I mean, there's really a lot with this matchup. So Gane, there is a reason Vegas has him favored. I didn't think he would be favored. I thought he would be a slight underdog. I mean, this dude is 10-0. He's undefeated, hasn't lost a UFC fight yet. And in terms of heavyweight capability, Gane is truly the only person that will probably ever be able to compete with Ngannou. I mean, you could talk about the legendary rivalry between Daniel Cormier and Stipe Miocic, which Stipe is arguably the greatest heavyweight of all time for now, which is soon to be taken by one of these two guys. But I mean, look at what Ngannou did to Stipe. I know Stipe was old, but Ngannou just tore him up, made it light work in the second round. And Gane, I mean, both of these guys, so they're built. They are the perfect combination of how many units, Elijah?
$50.
I'm down with that. I'm probably going to place that, if not double.
That's safe.
I just did 25.
I want to do 100, but 50 I contained it.
I might have to do a hundo. But so they are the perfect, both of these guys, perfect combination of size, speed, and power. And at heavyweight, that's such a rare combination. Gane is 6'4", 247 pounds. Ngannou is 6'4", 263 pounds. Pretty identical wingspans, pretty identical takedown stats. These guys are going to keep this fight on the ground, standing up, excuse me. They're going to want to strike. They're not going to deal with wrestling whatsoever. But Gane in this one, he's looking to remain undefeated, keep that perfect record. But Ngannou, on the other hand, has a dominant streak going. He has 5 straight wins, and his average fight time in those wins is 1:40 seconds. 4 of them were first round knockouts. He's just in another league. It's this line. What's crazy is Ngannou actually opened as a minus 190 favorite, but since then has moved all the way to plus 135, which scares the shit out of me. But I still don't care. I mean, it's Francis Ngannou. Like, what are you going to do?
Got to do it.
You got to do it.
I mean,
so
public's on the other guy, right?
Yeah, I don't know what the public is actually on this, so I'll have to look at that.
If it moved that much, that's just my quick non-UFC sharp thoughts.
I like the way you think, though. You know, I like the way you're thinking.
So, sometimes you need. That's why I let my girlfriend pick NFL Sundays. Obviously, I don't in playoffs because there's a lot less games. But during the year, yeah, I'm like, pick a game, and she does all right. You know, sometimes you need that little bit. I don't really know. I'll pick this team.
It's a dart throw. It really is. It's either you hit or you don't.
So with this matchup, though, my question, and I know Zach, you probably won't be able to answer it thoroughly as a newbie UFC follower.
I do love UFC. I want that disclaimer out there. I love it. I watch it all the time. But when it comes to betting, I've never placed a UFC bet until tonight. So shout out everyone listening. These are the first ever. like saw it happen. Just because I would just see like the minus 2, 3, 400 favorites. I'm like, I don't know it enough. Like I know it enough to not bet like all these props. So
Yeah,
I do watch.
So my question though for you guys is, with this matchup, Ngannou versus Gane, will this fight and the winner of this fight decide who is on the path to become the greatest heavyweight of all time, or is that too premature to say? Because obviously the greatest is Stipe Miocic and Daniel Cormier. You can't really argue.
Got the popcorn, just like that meme.
I think it's pretty. I think it's pretty early to say. I mean, for Ngannou, there's definitely an argument there. If he keeps defending his title, obviously. For Gane, I think he's got to win a few more. He's got to really defend his title a few more times in order to be considered one of the greatest. But as an undefeated fighter, absolutely, he gets a couple more title defenses under his belt. He's going to be up there in terms of legacy.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ngannou definitely has the more clear path to that, and he already has a little bit more behind his legacy. But like I said before, just like look at what he did to Stipe. And I know Stipe was a bit older, but still, I mean, that is Stipe fucking Miocic, and he made light work of him. And Gane, the only reason I think you can make an argument for Gane to one day reach that is because he's only in like the beginning of his UFC career, and he's already has a heavyweight belt. I know it's an interim belt, but it's still a belt. I mean, and he's just so freakishly athletic. So I think they both have the potential, but I wouldn't dub either one of them right now.
Yeah.
Elijah, do you have a take on that?
No, I think Ngannou's coming for that new contract. He's in a big contract dispute with the UFC. He is a man that comes from the middle of nowhere, Africa. Like he comes from the lowest of the lows in terms of poverty. He is going to come for that money. He's going to look at this like he's fighting for his whole family. He's going to put the team on his back. You know what I mean? And he's going to kick Gane's ass. So that's how I'm looking at it.
I love it. I'm here for it. All right. That's mostly it for UFC. So in terms of betting, Zach, you got the Ngannou pick, but I'm also going to be taking just a small 2-leg parlay with some favorites. I'm going to be taking Brandon Moreno minus 180 in the flyweight division. I think he's going to defend that title. It's going to be a very emotional fight for him. Take the over in that one. I think so too, actually. I do think that one's going to go the distance. Yeah. And then also on the parlay, the second leg is Said Nurmagomedov at minus 200. Not the juiciest parlay. It's plus 135 odds, but I think that's just good enough for 2 legs to, have some action, have some fun during the fight night. And I think those are two pretty good favorites. Noah, do you agree with Moreno winning? I agree with that over pick. I think it goes the distance.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to take it. Figueiredo would have won the first one had it not been for a point deduction. It ended up as a draw. Now, Moreno dominated the second one, but I'm probably going to stay away from the money line on that one. I like it to go the distance. I think the little guys are going to box around for a little while.
As they normally do, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, wait, Zach, also I forgot. We have explain it to Zach like he's 5. Okay, so here's what's happening this Saturday. 2 big dudes punch each other. 1 bigger dude win fight, win belt, and more money for win dude. Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome.
All right. Let's go.
Yeah.
Now you're ready for UFC
But
270.
that's my favorite thing to say is
makes money.
explain it to me like I'm 5. That's my favorite thing to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's
Hell
making
yeah.
money, though, in this situation. All righty, though. We're running a bit over, so we're going to go ahead and do our betting pick segment. I think normally we do a Taylor fade here, but I think with as minimal as games as there are on this weekend, rather than just doing a Taylor fade straight up, I think we're going to just read off our top 5 picks. That way we don't have any overlapping picks and whatnot. So I'll go ahead and start us off. I got Bengals plus 3.5, which, I mean, duh, of course I'm going to take the Bengals. I have to take the Bengals this week. Last week I stayed away, but I really like this number of 3.5. So Give me the Bengals against the Titans.
Tail.
Next up, tail that one. Okay.
Yep.
I guess we might as well just do tail or fade, even if we have some of the same picks.
We'll just keep the discussion to a
Yeah.
little bit of minimal. You know, if you have something
Fade.
awesome, like an awesome second down stat, like let's do it. But
I'm out. I'm fresh out of stats. We're at 1 hour and 40 minutes. My stat collection is very dry at the moment.
I just wrote Vrabel 8-0 after like 8 days. So that's
Vrabel cutoff member in order of Super Bowl win.
At least for me, Ryan, we need to count up our tally by the end of the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true. So we got to at least keep it going for us.
Do you guys know how I'm doing? I know I've done it a couple times.
Elijah's
Dude.
the record tracker.
We need to go back to the notes for that one.
I mean, we
was
have
gonna
it all
say-
documented.
We have it all
I can
documented.
see me doing super well or super bad.
I think
there's an
both of the
in-between.
previous times you've came on, I got really drunk. So
Oh, me too. I have that effect on people. You know?
yeah, so don't really know off the top of my head, but continue, Ryan.
All right. Next up, I'm going in the NFC. I'm taking the Packers -5.5 to cover against the Niners. I know, Zach, you're fading that one, but Elijah, Noah, what do you guys think?
Tail.
Tail.
All right.
Not a big fade.
Are you writing these down?
Here, I can do. Yeah, I got you. I'll
Please.
go. So fade. Okay, on the Bengals, you guys are tail, fade. So then Elijah was a tail. And then
Tail fade.
Okay, gotcha. All right, and then I got Rams. This is the popular pick, but I'm taking Rams at Buccaneers over 48.5.
Give me the
Fade.
under.
Fade.
All three fade.
Oh no.
Oh,
Wait,
wow.
actually,
Hey, that's good. Actually, thank you guys. Yeah. All right, and then I'm taking one of my prop picks, my favorite prop pick, which is slightly biased, but he's just the engine that keeps on churning. So give me Jamar Chase over 77.5 receiving yards.
I'm good with that. I'll tail that. I just think as long as he does it, it's the big plays. I think he can hit 78 to 100. If he doesn't have like 2 bombs, then that's fine for the Titans. So he's going to get his. I think you have to know that. So I'll tail.
Under. I'm fading.
I'm gonna fade.
Wow.
A, I think the Titans are going to bracket him. B, Titans do not miss many tackles. They're bottom of the league in missed tackles. Think Jamar Chase is going to get tackled right after the catch. They're going to be pretty sticky with him in coverage. Also, his former teammate, Christian Fulton, on the other side.
I do think I should just put this disclaimer. I think I've said it all 3 times I've done the segment because we always do it at the end. So, we're running low on time. I'm always like, yeah, let's just say the picks. And then I think I'm the one that talks the most.
It'd
so
be like that.
Just put that out there. I know, but, I'm also going to talk. So
It'd be like that. That's how it always
be like
is.
that. Who could have caused that?
And then last but not least, I'm going straight away from football. I already hinted at it, but I'm going with Francis Ngannou money line at +135 as the underdog.
Tail. You
Tail.
saw me tail it.
Everybody's tailing. All righty.
I'm waiting until it comes on my book, and then I'm tailing.
All right. Elijah,
All right.
you're up next.
First up, I got Bills Chiefs over 54.
A lot of points. I'm going to
I'll
fade that.
tail. I'll tail. That's a fun tail.
Look,
think
it
I'm gonna
hit last
take the
time.
total.
It was around the same. I'm pretty sure it was 54 last time or 52.
It hit in third quarter or something crazy.
Yeah.
It's a fun tail. You don't want to be on the under in this one.
Yeah, this is a game that I don't want to watch and root for the under.
exactly.
I'm an American, goddammit. I want the over to hit.
Noah, are you tailing or fading? It's toughy.
Tail.
Oh, shit. I guess I'm the only one fading. All right.
I'm not betting
next
it.
up, I got
Yeah, no, I'm not
Rams.
betting this, but I'll tail it.
Rams plus 2.5.
Fade
Tail it.
Bucks.
I
Noah's thinking hard.
gotta think about this. I'm fading.
Fade. All right. I like it.
I'm on record with the fade now.
Okay. Next up, I got Devontae Adams under 94.5 receiving yards.
Ooh.
I'll fade.
Fade.
I'll tail that, actually. That's a lot of yards.
It is, but I'm not placing on this prop, but I think Devontae Adams will eat.
Next up, I got Josh Allen over 279.5 passing yards.
Oh, I'm tailing that. I think he gets 300.
Fade, but I think it barely loses. The problem
It's
is
a
he
lot.
goes for 268, which is still a great game, and you still lose.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna fade. I think it's close. Then I think he factors in a ton of rushing yards as well. It's
Ooh,
it's
that
gonna
is a
be
good
cold.
point.
Like they're both gonna be slinging it. I mean, that's not gonna be an issue. They sling it every game. Close fade. Close fade. I'm gonna
All
say
right,
fail.
then-
I combined the two.
Last but not least, I got Bengals money line plus 152.
Fade.
Fade.
Tail, baby! Hooray! Easy peasy. Easiest tail of my life, dude.
All right. I'm up. Let's just get this out of the way. First one, Titans minus 3.5.
Tail.
Good.
Fade!
My guy Noah. Okay, Bucks minus 3. I think we
Fade.
talked about this.
Bucks
Whatever.
-3. I'm fading, yeah.
Fade.
So everyone fades that.
I'm
That's fine.
fading that game. I also faded Rams.
I was just about to say, yeah. I was about to say.
No,
Yeah.
I'm fading.
No,
I'm
like,
fading
He's
that.
trying to
spread.
beat the old
So
stats.
I
huh?
didn't pick every game. I picked 3 straight up. I'm gonna bet every game. I already bet Niners. Whatever.
You know what? Put me down for a tail.
All right.
I can't have
Respect.
it both ways.
Yeah. He's ready for a push. But I guess he had plus 2.5, so I guess it doesn't make sense. So Bills plus 2, also on the Niners, just because I am going to bet every game, but
Tail.
I tried to put some other ones. So Bills plus 2 for this one.
Tail.
Yep. Big tail. I think they win. We're all on the Bills.
Shit.
All right. Debo anytime touchdown.
Tail.
I
mean,
saw.
Tail.
I mean, he can run. He can. I mean, passing wouldn't count, but he can run. He can rush. He can run, rush. He can catch.
he does it all. He does it
Yeah,
all.
he does it all. And I was seeing around plus 100, and if I can get any plus money on it, it's not going to be a big plus. But even if it's a small minus, I'll take Debo anytime touchdown. Then Tyler Johnson over 1.5 receptions. He only got 3 targets last week, but I think that's partially because the Bucks just got up so much. The weeks before, it was 6 targets, 7 targets. We were talking about earlier, their weapons are a little out. I don't know if I should be explaining during the segment, but that's just my thought process. Tyler Johnson is good. He was good in college. He's shown out when he has to. Reception bets were huge for me earlier in the year. I kind of got away from them. I probably shouldn't have, but they were getting a little too juicy for me. All the overs I wanted to hit were all like minus 150, minus 170. Didn't want to hit those. So I think everyone got into the reception bets when I did. So this one, I'm liking it over 1.5 for Tyler Johnson.
I
like
love
it.
this one. Yeah,
I'll
love
even
it.
even if I see over 2.5, I'm hammering. I think he gets at least 3.
Tail.
Yeah, I think so too. That's a big tail for me.
Yeah, tail.
Mike Evans under. I don't know what the line is on that.
I don't know either. I haven't looked at a ton of player props this week. I just wanted to look at kind of a couple that I love before this show. And Debo and Tyler Johnson really stuck out to me.
I really like both of those. Yeah. All right, Noah, what you got?
All right. Let me get this script back up here. All right, Titans minus 3.5. We already went over
Tail.
Fade.
Just had to put that in
Fade.
that. Talked about this one earlier. AJ Dillon, anytime touchdown. It's
Tail.
going to be 10
I'll fail.
degrees.
I'll
You know
take
what? I'm just gonna be the difference. I'm gonna fucking fade because why not?
Thank you.
No, it's cool.
what are the
They'll
odds
do
on
the
that, bad
one,
boy?
they'll put AJ Dillon
I'm not
in.
sure. I need to look at it.
It's probably like
Um,
120, I think.
I
120.
would think so.
Probably like 120. Probably not a huge plus.
I would say
but
plus 200 because he's
Definitely
RB2.
That's what I was
Probably a
gonna say. It's gotta be
pretty,
plus
May-
odds.
maybe plus 140. I don't know if it's a ton.
Plus 115.
Oh, it's not.
Hey, there we go.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm fading.
I'll tail.
Thank you, Zach. All right, Packers minus 5.5.
Tailing.
Tail.
We already did this one earlier. but
Not a good
I had to
fade, but
put
it's
that
a
one in
fade.
there. All right, Bills money line.
Tail.
Not the +2, Give me the money line.
I'll tail. I did Bills money line earlier in the year, and it was fantastic because it was a similar spread. It was like +3 instead of +2, and yeah, I hit money line, and that was nice.
I love it. All right,
We're all in the Bills.
last one. Tampa Bay first half -1.5.
Here
Ooh,
for it. I'll
From
tail.
I am on the Rams, but from a betting perspective, this bet -1.5 at halftime, I like it a lot, so I'm gonna tail.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, but I think I'm going to tail it as well. Zach, are you tailing, you said?
I'm tailing. Yeah,
All
I've
right.
got Bucks full game, but
All
yeah,
right.
it could definitely be. It could be like 17-14.
Yeah.
13-10, 14-10, 10-7. Like it could.
I
Be
just think
something.
whatever it is, it's outside of the 1.5.
Yeah,
So Rams win. Rams probably win that half outright, but the Bucks win that half. I think it's outside of 1.5.
Yo, six out of 20 of our picks, we all three, like the three others, completely agreed. Tail.
Should we fade ourselves?
I don't know, bro. That's the question.
I just think we're all just so smart. That's just what it is.
Alrighty, though. That is
Sharp
going to be
there.
it for the episode, guys. Thank you all so much to those that tuned in, and of course to Zach and Noah for joining on. It's always a great time when these guys come on the show. We'll be back again, new schedule, Monday, Thursday, not on Tuesday. So be sure to come on our YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, all that jazz. We're going to be here on Monday night to talk about our playoff reactions and who else, who knows what's going to happen in the sports world. So be sure before we go to check out Noah and Zach's content. You can see on the screen their social media handles. Zach is at Zach Rieger 18. Noah is at Noah S. Parker. They both have podcasts. Noah is on the Blanket Coverage podcast. Zach is on the Betting on the Rocks podcast, both of which can be found over on the GTD Sports Network. So be sure to go and check all that out. I wish, if your team's still in the NFL, I wish you nothing but the best. Unless you are a Tennessee Titans fan, then fuck you. But other than that, good luck. Hopefully your team wins this weekend. And
Don't come to Nashville,
yeah.
boy.
Hey, before switching the subject, I got to get out there. I've got a NHL parlay going on right now. Not a huge hockey guy when it comes to this time of the year, but I was like, you know what? I'll just throw a small parlay. So I had a money line of Blue Jackets. So it's around like a plus 350-ish parlay. Just threw a little bit on it. Blue Jackets money line, they won. Predators money line, they won. Now I need the Avalanche to win. They're up 2-0 with 11 minutes left in the set. Oh no, they just let up they literally just let up a goal. Damn it. Okay, but they're still up 2-1. They're up 2-1, 11 minutes left in the second. So if you
So what you're telling me is live bet Kings.
just root for the Avalanche. I need positive vibes. That's all I'm going to say. I want to hit this parlay because it's my first NHL parlay of the year.
Plus
Would love to hit it.
298.
NHL parlay, that's the way to go. Is
Dude,
parlaying.
Dude, just like straight money lines. Like I picked Blue Jackets were plus 100, Preds were minus 140, Avalanche minus 175. Just threw them together. It's roughly like 350-ish. And
NHL money lines are also a little funky, but alrighty though. Any last comments or concerns about the playoff weekend that's coming up before we go?
That's all I got. I just wanted to make sure you guys knew I was on this parlay that's getting kind of close.
We're rooting for you.
Appreciate you.
Live bet Kings plus 298.
Honestly, probably.
That's what I would do if I were you right now, Zach.
Yeah, honestly, just give me the hedge, baby.
Yeah. Alrighty, though. That's going to be it. Appreciate everybody that tuned in for this longer episode of the Going the Distance podcast. Again, like I said, we'll be back on Monday live again with all of our reactions from this playoff weekend. So with that being said, Houday, go Bengals, Joe Shiesty is my dad, Joey Burr, all of the above. We'll see you guys on Saturday.
Tighten up. Thanks for having us on. I appreciate it. Love always hopping on.
All righty. We'll see you guys on Monday. Appreciate it.